hesitation. Let the word define our life in Him. We will win. Victorious is who we are. Let's get productive in every aspect of our life. No hesitation. Let the word define our life in Him. We will win. Victorious is who we are. Let's get productive.
God bless you. I want y'all to remember that Jesus is a refuge.
Let the word define our life in Him.
All right, let's notice Exodus 1. We got a word in the house on this morning. Notice Exodus 1. And let's pick up reading at verse number 22, because I want us to know what's happening at this time in history. I want you to look with me at what Moses is recorded saying, because we know Moses is believed to be the author of the first 5 books of the Bible, known as the Pentateuch, or the Torah. Notice Exodus 1 and 22. So Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, every son who is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. When we read Exodus 1, we know that Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is worried that the Hebrews are multiplying too quickly. He is afraid that as they are multiplying, that they will become so strong that Egypt will not be able to keep them in bondage. And so Pharaoh has set in place a plan. That plan being revealed in verse 22. That he had first spoken previously to the midwives, and had commanded the midwives that when you see a Hebrew woman having a child, and it is a son, kill him. If it is a daughter, save her alive. But the midwives, the scripture says, they feared God and did not obey the king. When Pharaoh heard of the news, he asked the midwives, why are you not doing what I asked you to do? And the midwife told him that the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. For when they give birth, they are lively and they are excited to bring forth their children. Oh, look at the time in which we live now, with so much ruthless killing of innocent babies, that the Hebrew women, again, were noted by the midwives as being different than the Egyptian women. And so now Pharaoh gives the command. Y'all hang in here, you know how I am. Now he gives the command. Since the midwives are not obeying, Pharaoh then says, I'm commanding all people, saying, every son who is born you shall cast into the river. Period. Point blank. I ain't playing with y'all. If it's a daughter, you shall save it alive. Notice Exodus 2:1. And a man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi, Moses' mother. This talking about Moses' mother, whose name was Jochebed or Jochebed. So the woman conceived and bore a son. She happened to bring forth a son in a time where many would consider this to be troublesome, because you know what you're supposed to do. You know what's supposed to be done. And if you fear Pharaoh, you'll do what he's asked or commanded to be done. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw It's something about a mother's eyes, ain't it? When she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him 3 months. Y'all know that took something. That takes something to hide a baby for 3 months. That took something. Some of us can't keep a baby quiet for 10 minutes. Yet she hid a child. Come on, y'all know it. Y'all go to refuge. Sometimes it's hard to keep a baby quiet. But yet she hid him 3 months. Hebrews 11 and 22, the Hebrew writer talked about how Moses' parents did it by faith. But when Moses is recorded talking about it, he doesn't mention his father. He only mentions or talks about his mother. That's telling you something about his mama. He talks about mama. So man, ain't no sense in getting all jealous when mama is being applauded or treated in some type special way. Come on. There's no need for a man going trying to act like a mama. You ain't no mama. Come on, let that mama get her due respect, rewards, and such. Come on, because no man can replace a good woman. No man can replace a good woman. We got a lot of things happening now where people want men to act like women. There's a difference between a father and a mother. What a woman was born to give a child, a man was never born nor intended to give that child what that mother can give that child. Come on, I know, see, some daddies getting mad now. Yeah. Thinking you can do what mama do. You can't do what mama do. And in some cases, you look silly trying to do it. God so wanted the relationship between the mother and the child to be special that throughout 9 months that baby has been feeding off mama. When mama eat, the baby eat. Sometimes mama eating for the baby. Mama changing her diet for the baby. Come on, y'all ain't with me. When mama protect herself, she protecting her baby. First line of defense for any child should be its mother. I'm going to preach today whether y'all get mad, upset. First line of defense should be mama. Bother my child if you want. Come on, I got some mamas in here good and say, but bother your children. Mess with my grandchildren. Come on. So what God did was, once the baby was born, the baby been feeding off mama for months. They got a special thing going on. Whoa, I said they got a special thing happening. And God wanted that to continue. So God said, I'm going to put food in mama. So that mama, not daddy, mama, not daddy, can take that baby, put that baby up against her skin. Mama, not daddy. Whoa! Yeah. Pastor ain't heard about kangaroo care. You ain't heard about the Bible. Take that baby, put that baby on that breast. That closeness. Come on. That warmth. When that child goes skin to skin, it's looking to be fed. Oh, and mama got the milk. I said mama got the milk. These brothers ain't liking this. Some of these new daddies and daddies to be, they just like, I ain't clapping. Let me move on. And again, don't send me the reports. I've read them. Because we can never do better than what God did. We can never do better than what God did. We can't outdo God. We can't come up with a better system or a better way. No. No. Let me read that. But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for it, dabbed it with, took an ark of bulrushes for him, dabbed it with asphalts and pitch, put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. See, now that took something. This mother recognizes she can no longer hide him. So notice this. She gets it, and she basically does for the baby what God did for Noah and his family. The mama prepares an ark. Come on. Look at the care. She prepares an ark. Come on. See, mothers control basically the atmosphere of a home. Mothers are powerful. Mothers, you set the tone. Yes, you do. You set the tone. She prepares an ark for this child, thinking of his safety. Notice the care. Notice the care. And his sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. Remember, he had an older brother, Aaron, and he had an older sister, Miriam. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river. Now, how many like me know that Jochebed knew what river she was putting him in? Come on, come on. I know I'm going outside that script, but I believe Mama had spied out who be coming down to this river. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I see God in all of this. I don't see no coincidence. I see God in everything that's happening. She takes the baby. Y'all be patient. She takes the baby. Notice she put it in the reeds by the river, and the sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. Now, how many believe like me that again, this mama telling that little girl, you gonna stay right? You keep an eye on your brother. How many times have parents told us keep an eye on our younger siblings? You watch out for it. Because if I'm standing here, it ain't going to look right for a grown woman being here. Especially a Hebrew, and he a Hebrew child. But you stand here. You stand nearby. Watch God make it work. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maids to get it. When she opened it, she saw the child. Behold, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go? Can I help? Y'all ain't here. Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you? God know how. God know how to take care of his folk. Come on, you don't see that? God know. He know what's going on with you, but he knows how to take care. He know how to make it well. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So the maiden went and called the child's mother. Could you imagine Jochebed waiting at the house? And they come in and say, you need it. Pharaoh's daughter want to see you. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away. Nurse him for me. Put him on your breast. Feed him, protect him. And I will give you wages. I'm going to pay you to raise your own child. You go raise him, but whatever he needs, send the bill to me. So the maid and went, called the mother, and that Pharaoh's daughter said, take the child away, nurse it for me. I will give you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew. And she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter. He became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, because I drew him out of the water. Pharaoh said, every son who is born, cast him into the river. Jochebed had a son, but she didn't cast him into the river because she was a fearless mother, refused to obey Pharaoh's command. She would rather please her God than to please the king. God made it work for this mother. And I believe what we have here is a portrait from the beginning, especially in the end, of a blessed mother. One word for blessed is the word happy. Today's subject is broader than just mothers, broader than just women. But my subject this morning is simply a happy woman. A happy woman. Can we give God a praise for our subject, a happy woman? Come on. A happy woman. Yeah, I want to look at a happy woman. The word happy again has to do with the word blessed. When we look in especially the Old Testament and we look at the word for blessed or the word for happy, it again is synonymous. It means the same. Because a person who is in truth happy is a blessed somebody. Would y'all agree? A person who is in truth happy is a blessed somebody. But that word happy also has to do with a person being joyful. A person who is joyful. It also has to do with, and this is important if you're taking note, that this word happy has to do with someone who is satisfied. And it is good to be satisfied. Finally, when we look at this powerful word, we are also looking at what it means to be content. We live in a time now where so many people are not content. Many are not content with who they are, and they are not content with what they have. We live in a time now where people desire to be anyone other than who God has created them to be. I'm not getting an amen, but I know I'm right about it. You have to come to a place in your life where you have learned how to be content. Did you hear me? I said one of the best things you can do for yourself is to arrive at a place where no matter what you are going through, you have learned to be content. You have just learned how to be happy despite what you are going through. I'm preaching to somebody now. You have learned how to be happy now. Oh, Lord, I said a content person has learned to be happy right where they are. And one thing that causes a person to be content or to be happy now is knowing that he or she is in the will of God. I said knowing that you are in the will of God. Because there's no way you can be in the perfect will of God and not be happy or content. Yeah, there may be some things you're looking for, some things you are expecting God to do. But when you are in the will of God, you have the ability to be happy every day, no matter what comes against you within any given day. And that's some of you right now. I'm looking at you this morning and you are looking happy. You are glad with who God has created you to be. Is there anybody in church this morning? You are happy with who God created you to be. And you know that nobody can beat you at being you. Yeah, I'm happy. I got some need, but yet God has been good to me, and I am happy right now. See, there are some that cannot get excited because they are not content with who they are. They are not content with the things that they have. Come on, somebody. Be seated. And that's one of the worst places to be, is to be a person who's not happy today, but you feel as if one or two things happen, then you can be happy. I think it's some of the most absurd stuff that you can hear come out of people's mouth. That, yeah, I'll be happy if I get my house. If I get my job, I'll be happy. And then some women, if I get my man, then I'll be happy. But I come to tell you, you can have all of these things, yet still you go through things. Come on, somebody. And so I've been taught, how to be content right where I am. I love what the Apostle Paul said. He said it like this: I know how to be abased and I know how to abound. Oh, I know how to have money, but I know how to be happy when... See, some of us hadn't learned. You hadn't learned to be happy in spite of. I've learned to be happy when folk talking about me, and I've learned to be happy when they're saying wonderful things. Oh, I'm trying to preach this because happiness is something you have to learn to be. You have to learn how to be content. Listen, again, with who God has created you. You have to learn how to do it. Sadly, we are living in a time where so many women are anything but happy. Hold on. In and outside of the church. There are a lot of women who are miserable. Come on. Frustrated and confused. I said there are a lot of women who are miserable, frustrated, and confused, in and outside of the church. Miserable, frustrated, confused, but masquerading, pretending to be happy. Pretending to be happy. See, but there's a good word in the house. Because through God, a woman can learn that she doesn't have to pretend. It doesn't have to be an act that you put on for a couple of hours. It doesn't have to be a face that you put on like you put on your makeup and you take it off like you take off your Maybelline. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But see, the world is good at putting before women, when it comes to TV, social media, Hollywood, and entertainment, women who look happy, but they are only masquerade. They are anything but happy. Do you think a woman would go on television and embarrass herself and tell all of her business to the entire world if that woman was truly happy? And see, it's amazing how things that go on in the world tries to creep into the church. And so now we have a lot of women who are learning again how to just put on, how to just act a part. Oh, I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't think it was going to be this tough. Women who look at magazines to determine how they should look, trying to be like people who are not happy with themselves. See, that's when we got to have older women in church. This is the reason we got to have seasoned women who have learned to be content, who are enjoying life, and they have much to pour out to women who are miserable. Come on, somebody got to help me preach it. Frustrated and confused. You know how they can teach, you know how they can pour out, because they once was that miserable, frustrated, and confused woman. Isn't it amazing how God will take folk who are miserable and confused and raise them up? Only for them to turn around and act like they've always been where God brought them to. The devil is a lie. When God raises you up, you have a responsibility to reach back. Come on, preach good. You got a responsibility to reach back and tell the truth of where God brought you from. Tell the truth. Let it be known that you hadn't always been a lady. Let it be known you ain't always sat down and crossed your leg. Let it be known you ain't always dressed. Whether you are a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, listen to me this morning. Happiness is something you have to value. You have to value your happiness. See, woman, if you value your happiness, you won't lose your purity to nobody. You won't give away what you shouldn't give away, because you value your happiness.
The vision of a place of refuge is to make people productive in every aspect of life. Thank you for your past, present, and future support for our ministry. Do you want to know more about our ministry? We invite you to visit our church website or call our church office at 770-252-3855. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you, we ask that you would share it with a family member, friend, or a coworker. Thank you for joining us, and remember that Jesus is a refuge.